Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm really excited to see what Mondragon can do. But right now we're moving on to map three. This is Destination, and this is kind of the map that both players are going to be a little more familiar with. Let's get right into this game, and we can kind of go into the nitty gritty of the map while we just have the bit of the starting maneuvers going on.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get started for game three of Phoenix against Casper. It is up 2-0 for Phoenix right now. We are seeing right now 0-2 for Casper. 2-0 for Phoenix, and in both of those starting two games, I mean, it was just complete domination by Phoenix. I mean, played completely straight up standard. I mean, my screen centered right over Phoenix's Nexus right when this game began, and I saw a beautiful split by Phoenix right now. He seems very, very focused and just has great, great fundamentals in these games.
Right. Yeah. My exact same thing for me. And we've got Phoenix here at the top position in the tan Protoss, and Casper down here in teal Terran at the bottom position. And this is a two-player map destination. So if you were going to do some sort of two-fact timing or something a little more unorthodox, a little more all-in-y, this is a very nice map to do it because you know where your opponent is, you know kind of what he's going to be getting into.
Yeah, this is the map where I would be like, oh yeah, Casper, he has the advantage because he loves doing just crazy, nutty stuff all the time. And this just has so many weird terrain formations. And to be honest, no matter what you do, there's always a safe expansion somewhere. But oh my god, Casper builds the depot on 8. Oof. And we see a super early probe coming out here right now. Looks like we're going to probably see a gas steal. But, you know, this 8 depot, already, that's making me feel a little bit uncomfortable. Oh my god, the probe already harassing right there against the SCV. I don't know if this probe was intended to do a gas steal or whether it was intended to harass, but I mean, either way, this is definitely going to feel not so great if you are the friendly neighborhood Casper.
Oh, he just gets the gas with the refinery, so nice there, and then he's right off. Yeah, I was getting all excited when we... Oh, look at this. 3 SCVs committed to killing the probe. Let's not do that. Probe's acceleration very quick, and the range a little bit more than SCVs. So you're not going to catch that probe as long as Phoenix has done his homework with probe harass. Taking a lot of hits there, actually. But I was so excited when I
Yeah.
saw this SCV going out on 8. I thought it was going to be some sort of 8 racks, and then it was 8 depot. Very, very strange, and very not standard in today's version of StarCraft.
Yeah, I mean, I do not like an 8 depot. I mean, I think that's one of those things that every so often, if your brain's just not in the right place, it'll happen. I mean, in all the games I'm playing Terran, when I'm doing 2v2v2v2s on BGH, you know, getting ready to go mass Wraith and that sort of thing, I'll occasionally build the depot on 8, you know, but it doesn't really matter because I don't really play Terran. But you know, if you're in a big serious tournament like this, suddenly realizing that you built that depot one food too early, you know, like the first building you choose to build in the whole game. Oh man, that's that's gonna feel not so good.
And a very strange non-standard wall here for Casper. I mean, this one depot at the top we see should go into this nook that's 1 square higher to make a unified wall up here. He's made this little nook a Dragoon can fit in, do a lot more harassment. So just, you know, if we compare his play to Phoenix, Phoenix's build order looks very, very tight. He's getting the Dragoon now, going to be going towards Dragoon range. All the buildings are very compact, well placed. And now, if
Hmm.
we look back at Casper's base, it's a little bit of the opposite. Everything looks a little more shambled and a little more rushed.
Yeah, and you know, on this map, I really love any sort of early expansion. One Gate Dragoon with range straight into Expo, I think, is one of the best builds on this map because you get that the two thin bridges make it really easy to control if you actually do end up having range. But oh my god, oh thank you so much, Casper. 2 factories going down, wonderful. I absolutely love this. And, you know, I feel like part of the reason, you know, just in Casper's defense, because we've been doing quite a bit of Casper bashing, you know, given this wall-in, this allows him to move Marines from his barracks straight down to the bottom, or excuse me, straight to the top of his ramp without having to lift. If you build it one up in that little nook that you were referring to, then it is a solid wall off, so you do kind of have to move it around a little bit. So maybe he does like the fact that he can fall back if needed, but still move his Marines freely around.
Oh, that's true. That's a very good point. Very good thing to point out. We see the tank finishing, and he's getting mines. So this is going to be kind of a standard 2-fact now. Vultures out of the second factory we're going to expect to see. And there's the Nexus for Fenix. So this could be, you know, there's a timing where this is actually a little bit dangerous for Fenix. If the tank does get to the bridge and gets sieged up, you know, that's going to be problems. And look at this cute little barracks hovering over the Marines, just baiting that Dragoon. Come on in, it's safe.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's a party up here. Oh, the Dragoons are trying to do some damage, but man, they took so many hits. And you know, it's so funny because, you know, the opening, everyone calls it the FD rush, right? The fake double, because it's a fake Gundam rush. But no one has Gundam rushed in years, and that's what we're seeing right here. A Gundam rush is getting one factory with add-on, getting one, sometimes two tanks, but generally keeping very low on the tank count and just getting tons of vultures very quickly and pushing very aggressively in. So it's so funny because if I am Fenix in this situation, I'm going to see what Casper's doing and think, oh yeah, he's going straight for the FD and I'm going to see an expansion in a second. But actually, he's doing the Gundam rush that no one has seen in so long.
Yeah, so ironic. It's like the FFD, and somehow that probe doesn't cross paths with this huge army moving up. We've got two vultures running. You know, Fenix just gave up his ramp so easily because, as you said, you expect this to be an FD. Some mines coming up now, and he's getting siege. He needs to lay a lot of mines with these vultures. Leave position for the tanks. Very nice micro by Fenix. Casper needs to be a little more careful with this tank. The tank is everything. Get those mines working for you, and then he can siege the Nexus from there. But, you know, this is the best situation that Casper could have asked for. One, you know, only one gateway. Second one just finishing now on a proxy pylon. So the nicest position Casper could have been in, but he kind of gave it away a little bit there. But, you know, it's not over now. The siege coming up now. These Dragoons are going to take a lot of hits from that siege tank. Mine going off. This is a bit of trouble here. He needs to get that shuttle working for him so he can break this very quickly.
Yeah, and look, if you go right into the main of Fenix, we saw 3 Dragoons queued up at that gateway. Now there's another just finished, so now there's only 2 Dragoons queued up there. But man, I mean, definitely some panic going on. And look at the siege tank. Look at this beautiful, beautiful placement of the siege tank, just barely in range of the Nexus. I dislike this split up of the siege tanks. Maybe he wants to be a little bit careful with his siege tanks, but ooh, man, look at the serious damage in that one SCV there on the left ramp. Oh, the Dragoons are just evaporating.
Yeah, good God, so much damage done here, and that Nexus is going to fall. 2 vultures, alright, we'll just go up the ramp, streaming right in. They're heading straight for the probes, laying some mines. Is that mine going to go up in the Dragoon? No, Fenix, very smart, pulls it back, but that gives access to the vultures straight into the probe line, and they're going to take that 1-2 probe going down, the tank streaming into the natural, and I mean, his main is all but lost now. Fenix in a world of hurt now as his probes continue to go down to these vultures.
This is great. Everything is going so according to plan for Casper. This can be a real momentum shifter, you know, to be able to just crush your opponent really quickly on a map like this, which actually, if I recall, is slightly favoring Protoss in statistics.
And, I mean, the tanks are moving up. It's all but over now. Without Zealot legs and without a shuttle, you are not going to be able to break these tanks moving in your main, even if you have 3 gateways rallying. Very nice mine setup here. The tank's slow pushing in. I like that he's not overly committing to this. He's taking his expansion, but he's still maintaining pressure. So even if he loses this, he can still defend his bridges at home, and Casper is going to be in a nice position. So it's win-win here. And, you know, Fenix, it's lose-lose. You're either going to lose the game now or you're going to lose it later. Very, very difficult position for him.
Seriously. I especially like your use of the word brank. I mean, I know because you meant break and tank, but man, that is just a funny word. He's gonna brank. Oh man, let that be the new vocabulary generated by this commentary today.
Got Zealots dropping out of the shuttle on one. He's branking the tanks now. I don't even know how to use it properly, but
I don't even know if he's going to be able to brank this. It's going to be tough.
Oh, he kills his own mine. Very nice sniping his own mine with the vulture so that it doesn't get taken out. But now DTs, and we know DTs are the big game shifter in StarCraft.
I know. I mean, according to one of our esteemed other commentators in this series, DTs are the most imbalanced unfair unit in the game, so he might actually be right. Look at this. The DT's clearing everything up. I mean, still quite a lot of probes in Fenix's base. Phoenix has done a good job of replenishing up to 4 gateways. after that big push, so he's probably going to be able to snap back just a little bit. Fortunately, we see the Academy and the eBay are finished, but not a single turret or a single comsat has been built anywhere. Not so good.
Yes. So if you're Casper, you see this DT getting in the shuttle. I mean, if I'm him, I'm gonna stop doing this. I'm gonna rally defense to my natural, throw up turrets, because at this point I know if I don't die, I've probably won. So you kind of can get into this point where you're throwing too much aggression at the point. And look at this, a turret going up in the mineral line of Fenix. Oh, that is nice.
Oh man, that's a scout turret, man. I mean, even if this attack fails, he can totally scout his opponent's base out with that turret. Any observers that pop out, that turret's gonna take them.
No.
Oh, the SCV. You know, he's gonna take as much damage as he can from that turret, and then he's gonna cancel. That's what the pros do when they make scouting turrets. Bit of
I could have taken out that shuttle. That's unfortunate. That turret could have been very nice. You see, Fenix, doing well to hold it. He still lost his ramp, but expansion up for Casper. So I really like that Casper's gotten in this position with a 2-fac. Gone back to his supposed bread and butter, and look what it's done for him.
Yeah, it's really amazing to see the sorts of decisions that Casper makes here, because it's almost like scripted a lot of times, especially with tons of these openings. Like, if you ever watch like your very standard Korean C to B level player do a 2-factory, he'll do a push like this, he'll kill off this expansion, and he'll pull right back, and then take his own expansion and play super safe. But I know Casper loves doing this sort of unorthodox play and is very determined to play his own style. And it's amazing to see how successful he is at doing something I never really would have even considered, which is to just, constantly rally up here and to continue with that harass for so long after his push was barely stopped by those DTs. It's really fascinating to see what other sorts of successful strategies you can deploy as Terran in this situation.
Right, and there's a little bit of mind games there. Scan going off, first ET going down. Does he have another scan? Yeah, he's got one in the main, and he's got another one in the natural, so a lot of scans in there. And a turret going up, not quite in the mineral line where I'd like to see it, but it's going to be good in the natural nonetheless.
Yeah, and just beautiful contain going on right here. I mean, so incredibly aggressive, really denying his opponent. I mean, a lot of people will try to contain on the other side of the double bridge, because that's a little bit easier, but Casper, clearly knowing the capabilities of his post 2-fac push, knowing that he can set up right here, and this really denies Protoss from being able to do anything. There is no chance of taking a second base in this spot.
So a little bit of a reverse elevator here from Fenix. He's dropping down. Wow, what are these hacker vultures just coming right on in, and somehow they scout that, so that's going to get shut down instantly. I don't know how Casper knew that was going on, but pulls his entire army back very quickly. This DT killing so much. Oh my god. That DT with so many kills, but there's just so many units for Casper here. Fenix can get the advantage of every battle, but it's kind of too little too late at this point.
Yeah, and it's so interesting to see the quote-unquote, stable late-game follow-through that, we see Casper transitioning to. Because he's getting his armory down here, and he's staying to 4 factories. And, I mean, the reason I was like, oh, quote-unquote, is it's so weird that he has all his units rallied right outside the front of Fenix's main. And, I mean, look, Fenix is just trying to break out, but Casper's still managing to barely hold. And, that armory's already there to begin the upgrades. I mean, it's not doing anything right now, but it doesn't matter too much. But still, it's interesting to think about the ways you can transition. And GG, Casper manages to take a game, making sure he doesn't get shut out 3-0 in this best of 5.
Yeah, and a very nice game finally portraying how we're kind of painting the picture about Casper, that he does these builds that are, standard, but we haven't seen them for a while, but they work. And that's what I really liked about that game, especially, looking back, I think that kind of worked because, as you said, you're going to 2-fact and then you're going to go back to the natural and and expand and defend. And if Protoss, that's what Protoss is thinking you're going to do as well. So he's going to kind of think, okay, I've defended this, now I can expand. If he knew that Casper was going to continue to be aggressive, he probably would have played differently. He probably would have got a shuttle, more zealots to do the mind drags on there. But thinking that he's not going to keep attacking, I need to take my expansion. But that's not what happened. So that shows the kind of cyclic mind games that you can play with this old school style. And yeah, it does still work.
Yeah, and what I especially love, just as a great demonstration for of Phoenix's solid play, is the fact that in the process of dealing with this incredibly aggressive two factory, he did this really smart transition where he teched straight up to the Dark Templar with the shuttles. I mean, I just loved that transition, and he stayed alive for quite a long time and managed to put on some serious threats throughout that entire process. So I mean, I was really a lot of respect to Phoenix for that game for holding on that long.
Yep, for sure, I agree. And in these long series, there's a lot more factors than kind of the best of three or even the best of one we're used to see in the foreigner scene. When we're going to best of five, a lot of things happen with momentum, emotion, fatigue, and how deep are your strategies. We've seen the same kind of style of things from Phoenix, but we've seen Casper kind of go through this pinwheel of different strategies.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
how it's kind of on the mind. He's now it's worked. He's taken a game. It's kind of in the back of your mind as
Hmm.
Phoenix. What's he gonna do next?